Look the part, play the part. Yakko sponsors Vanarama National League on BT Sport.
Hello and welcome to the Vanarama National League highlight show here on BT Sport. Over the next half an hour, we'll bring you all the goals and match action from around the division. Here's what's coming up.
It's the end of the line for Brabin as Tranmere lose a game. Barrow move into fourth after knocking Lincoln off the top. And Dagenham and Redbridge are the new league leaders.
This week, our cameras were at Gander Green Lane to see newly promoted Sutton United take on Tranmere Rovers. Both teams are going into this game without a win in their last three and going up against each other for the very first time. Your commentators for this one are former Celtic and Brighton defender Adam Virgo and Adam Somerton.
Early chance for Vaughan to swing it in. It was a good delivery too, and it's causing problems. And Sutton United managed to scramble it clear. The header back in there by Jennings. A bright start here by Gary Brabin's side. Still on the attack, and it's swung in brilliantly and off the crossbar. Kirby with the effort. Right on the front foot, Tranmere Rovers.
Oh, they've had an excellent start, even not a minute gone.
It's being chased here by Kirby. Quite sure how he's hurt himself there, Jake Kirby, which will be a real concern to Gary Brabin because they haven't got the deepest of squads at the moment, Tranmere Rovers. That's how he's been hurt. Just seemed to be a slight slip. And Mankwa this time to try and cross it in. Decent ball too, had it clear by McNulty, a really good defensive header there. Referees allowed play to go on here, played the advantage. Norwood racing forward here in support is Lois Maynard. Harris it is, who's been hurt by that challenge from Eastman. Brought back into the team today by Gary Brabin, Jay Harris.
I'm sure Gary Brabin would not want another injury in that treatment room.
Really disappointing this though for Harris, drafted back into the side today. His game over in the 23rd minute. Here comes Andy Cook then, an England C international signed from Barrow during the summer. How frustrating this is for Jake Kirby. That's how he's got that injury. So innocuous, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. You can just see that change of surface going on that 3G. You can see him pointing clearly there.
Sent in by Bailey. Ihekwe with a header clear for Tranmere Rovers, but it's to be defended again here. Good ball over. Oh, and it's been turned in! It's Dan Fitcher inside the second minute of the second half. He's put Sutton United in front. An instinctive finish, and Tranmere must come from behind.
Well, this goal will do him the biggest amount of confidence. It's a quality, instinctive finish there from Dan Fitchett.
Over the top for Biamu, and the goalkeeper didn't get there. And the referee here has got a decision to make. Biamu staying down.
As you clearly see, if there was any contact at all. Player goes down like that, doesn't give a penalty. Has to give him a yellow card for simulation.
Meckie just got a nudge there, spotted by the referee, Rob Whitten. He seems to be holding his hamstring area there. And remember that Tranmere Rovers have made all three changes available to them here.
Yeah, he pulled up straight away, didn't he? Yeah, you can just clearly see that on that left hamstring.
Well, he has indeed gone off now. I don't think there was anything else that they could have done. Down to 10 men. Well, Sutton United are back on track. A big 3 points against one of the National League's title chasers. 4 games without a win now for Gary Brabin's Tranmere. The impact of their blistering start being eroded week by week.
I'm in a fairly unique position in as much that I'm not paid to do this job. If the club want to get rid of me, they can, but I don't think they're going to. And we've taken from the Ryman Premier to the Vanarama National. The thing is, as a football club, we know what we're about, and we want to compete in this league. We think we can. We're not perhaps under the pressure that Tranmere are, Eastleigh are, Forest Green are. Their chairman have come out and said they want to win the league. My chairman probably wants to go down.
Tranmere chairman Mark Palios ended Gary Brabin's tenure as manager on Sunday morning as he started the search for someone to take the club to the next stage. Here's what Brabin had to say in his final interview with BT Sport.
I look at the potential that we've got. Yeah, we're good enough to be getting promoted and sustaining a challenge and winning games. But I just think we certainly need to strengthen. I think that's evident.
Clearly the fans frustrated, as are you and the players, I'm sure. What do you say to the supporters there?
Well, it is. It's we probably we're so near yet so far, and we are trying our best to address the situation. But I think when you haven't got enough players, which was evident there, I think it's always going to be hard. It's a hard task when you have got a full fit squad. So I think it's a wake up call. Still early in the season, and we need to address it early. And if we're going to be serious about being real contenders this season.
With title rivals Tranmere slipping up in the early kick-off, league leaders Lincoln City were looking to capitalise, but it wouldn't be easy against a Barrow side on a 5-match unbeaten run. It took the visitors less than 15 minutes to shake Sincil Bank, Ryan Yates clipping the ball into the area for Richard Bennett to finish off, his 5th goal in a Barrow shirt since a summer move from Northwich, Victoria. Danny Cowley's team are the top scorers in the National League. A scintillating counter-attack saw Nathan Arnold in on goal. He was denied by Joel Dixon not once but twice. Perseverance paying off for Arnold, who brought Lincoln level going into the half-time break. The home side had gone 6 games without defeat themselves and were looking to put Paul Cox's team away. With 6 minutes to play, Arnold popped up again, Yates managing to clear off the line. And just seconds later, the away team snatched a shock 3 points. Byron Harrison overtaking Bennett as the club's top scorer with his 6th goal of the campaign. Barrow are up to 4th and who knows, maybe part of the promotion picture.
There's one thing that we guarantee, that Lincoln will be up there amongst the people that are competing for the championship this year. So to come here and not just win the game, but I thought we deserved to win it, and I think that was more pleasing. There was a belief amongst the boys without the ball, and there was a belief amongst the boys with the ball, which was like I say, more pleasing.
We need to be braver. We need to be braver in possession. That's a fact. I didn't think we were brave enough second half. I thought we took the easy option at times, and that's definitely something for us to look at.
The first ever meeting of Dagenham and Redbridge and North Ferriby United saw both teams arrive on the back of impressive midweek wins. The Daggers saw off Dover, while United claimed the memorable scalp of Gateshead. The goals of Oliver Hawkins looked to be crucial in the Daggers promotion push. He had an early opportunity, but it was denied by visiting keeper Rory Watson. Hawkins has scored more than the whole North Ferriby team in this campaign, and it wasn't long before he added to his tally. Frankie Raymond with the cross, Hawkins rising highest to head home his 9th of the season. Dagenham's main man is the top scorer in the division. A season of struggle looks likely for Steve Howsham's team, but they showed heart after the interval. Elliot Justin parrying away Sam Topless's efforts. The points weren't safe until the last 5 minutes. Fajiri Akanabiri proving too quick for the visitors down the left flank, and substitute Luke Howell was on hand to make it 2. Dagenham back on top of the National League, thanks in no small part to the prolific Hawkins.
We know we supply the right sort of service. We know he can score goals. He scored today. He should have scored again, but he's a handful. But our attacking 4 are very, very good. Got good pace, good movement. Good attributes all round really, and we just feel that every time we go out we believe we can score.
Results elsewhere gave Forest Green Rovers a chance to gain ground at the top end, struggling Bromley, the visitors to the new lawn, on a high after a midweek Maidstone victory. Liam Noble has been finding the net from free kicks of late for Rovers, but on this occasion nothing to trouble Alan Julian. Forest Green keeper Sam Russell was called into action by Bradley Goldberg's fizzing long-range strike as a cagey first 45 ended goalless. Bromley kept their first clean sheet of the season at Maidstone, but they could have fallen behind when Keanu Marsh-Brown bore down on goal, Julian preserving parity for the visitors. Another noble set piece saw Julian smuggle clear, more fortune for those defending the Bromley goal. Forest Green have scored in every game since the opening day of the season, and the breakthrough came with 17 minutes to go. Elliot Freer standing the ball up for Marsh-Brown to register his second of the season, to the delight of the home fans. Neil Smith's men almost responded with Jack Holland blasting over the bar, but it's a first win in 3 for Forest Green, who are now only 1 point away from the top of the table.
Macclesfield's midweek fixture with Wrexham fell victim to the weather. John Askey's team would have been chomping at the bit after a run of 3 wins on the spin had seen them soar up the table. Visitors Eastleigh were unbeaten in 5 matches under new manager Ronnie Moore, and they almost drew first blood at Moss Rose, former Coventry defender Raider Johnson heading wide. Moore's men were clearly full of confidence. Jake Howells almost squeezing this shot past Macclesfield keeper Craig Ross. 0-0 at the interval, but just 5 minutes into the second half, Eastleigh were ahead. Luke Colson with his first of the season. Ross no doubt disappointed to be beaten at the near post. 5 clean sheets in 7 games for Eastleigh, who move into the top 6.
I thought we were a better side. I thought we should have won by probably more goals. Just in the final third we weren't as good as we could be. But then, while you're only 1-0 up, you know, they throw caution to the wind at the end, throw all the big lads up, and then you're hanging on really when for the game really that we should have been our side on.
Gateshead's promotion prospects suffered a blow with defeat at home to North Ferriby in midweek. They hosted another promoted side in Solihull Moors, who had taken just 1 point from their previous 5 matches. Marcus Bignot's visiting team almost endured the worst possible start, a nervy moment for goalkeeper Nathan Vaughan, but Danny Johnson couldn't take advantage. Neil Aspin's side had lost 3 of their last 6 and obviously keen to get among the points again. A wonderful weaving run from Wes York gave Vaughan a chance to show what he can do with his hands. Solihull had stopped the rot of 4 defeats in a row with a 0-0 draw at Lincoln earlier this week. They almost snatched the lead on the break as Darryl Knights tested the palms of Dan Hamford. Somehow it ended all square on Tyneside. 2 games without a goal for Gateshead, stats-wise the worst they've been this season.
After a dreadful start to the season, which saw them lose 5 of their first 6 games, Woking had experienced a mini revival with 7 points from their last 4, including Tuesday's 3-1 win over Torquay. Wrexham arrived at Kingfield unbeaten in 3. They dominated the opening exchanges here and almost took the lead through Mark Carrington, who showed great technique to tee up a volley, which Michael Polk was equal to. Into the second half, and it was the hosts who were now in the ascendancy. Joey Jones's header from Jake Caprice's cross looked destined for the back of the net, but Wrexham keeper Shwan Jalal somehow managed to claw it out. Portuguese winger Fabio Saraiva, a summer signing from Ryman Premier League Merstham, has added some much-needed creativity for Woking in recent weeks, and he opened the scoring with 10 minutes remaining. This fine effort from 25 yards, his second goal in a week. And in the dying minutes, Gary Hill's side wrapped up the points. Denon Lewis with a mazy run before Jalal could only parry Gozi Ugu's shot to Chike Kandi, whose first goal for the club sealed the victory. Amazingly, that's Woking's first clean sheet in 30 games, and they're out of the bottom 4.
Just don't get carried away. We're going in the right direction, and I think that's what I've tried to do, and with the backing of Steve Thompson as me coach and the backing of the board of directors and everybody at the football club supporters, and everyone is be patient, understand and see where we go until we get our players back, or add 1 or 2 where I feel that can benefit the team and the formation going forward, and of course we're pleased with that day.
Boreham Wood were hoping to shake off the tag of being the league's draw specialists, having shared the points in 5 of their opening 10 matches. And Luke Garrard's side in white made the ideal start as they went ahead after only 9 minutes through Anthony Jeffrey, the on-loan Forest Green man, latching onto Angelo Belanta's long ball to score for the first time since Boxing Day last year. Torquay seemed stunned by Wood's quick start and they found themselves 2 down just 3 minutes later. Morgan Ferrier showing good strength before sliding home his 4th goal in 4 games. Short of cash, Torquay were forced to drive their own cars to Meadow Park. A much-needed lifeline came 5 minutes before the break as Femi Ilasanmi handled in the box. But Nathan Blissett's tame effort from the spots was easily kept out by Grant Smith. The Torquay manager, Kevin Nicholson, labelled his side's performance as embarrassing, lamenting their lack of will to win this goalmouth scramble, the closest they came to getting back into the match in the second half. It's 5 defeats from 6 on the road for Nicholson's team, and even though it was only Boreham Wood's second win from their last 9, it moves them to within 3 points of the playoffs.
We didn't play as fluid as we have been, but to get the 3 points was massive. We asked the boys that at the start, go and get maximum points from today. And then we look forward to Solihull Moors on Saturday.
York City and Dover Athletic met for the first time in any competition as the hosts look to preserve their unbeaten record at Bootham Crescent this season. Dover were involved in the game of the season last weekend, beating Forest Green 4-3 in a thriller at Crabble. Ricky Miller was the hat-trick hero that day, and he continued his fine goal-scoring form here. This clinical finish giving his side the lead after 24 minutes. If Dover are to match last season's heroics and make the playoffs again, then Miller's goals are going to be key. He's now second in the National League scoring charts and was just a whisker away with this 25-yard free kick. There's no doubt, though, that Dover should have made it 2 when Jack Parkinson found himself unmarked at the back post, but blazed over when it seemed easier to score. York created very little, and their clearest opportunity didn't arrive until stoppage time, when Scott Fenwick played in Kane Felix, but he didn't do enough to beat Steve Arnold in the Dover net. That's no wins and no goals in 3 games now for York, and their supporters' frustration was clear for all to hear at the final whistle.
With a few players off form today. Different reasons, I didn't think some of them performed, but when saying that, I thought it was a foul leading up to their goal, and Matt Fry. Thought we could have a penalty first half, but I think chances wise, I think the chance Kane had at the end of the game was better than the one we lost for the goal. So yes, as disappointing as we were, and we can play a lot better, but I still feel that we should have got something from it.
Bottom of the table, Guiseley went to Maidstone still looking for their first win of the campaign. The West Yorkshire team had just 2 points at the start of the day and are still without a permanent boss. It took only 14 minutes for them to fall behind as Alex Flisher was allowed time and space to bag his 4th goal of the season. Maidstone thought they'd made it 2, but Liam Enver-Marum was denied his 3rd in 4 games, only just offside from a cross from Bobby Joe Taylor. Jay Saunders' side should have sealed victory in the first half, missing a host of chances. When through on goal, Flisher fired straight at Johnny Maxted and then failed to beat the Guiseley keeper with a header from 6 yards. Guiseley caretaker boss Adam Lockwood had to make 3 changes before half-time because of injuries, but this appeared to give his team a new lease of life. The equaliser came when Rhys Webb-Foster was allowed to turn inside the box before finding the far corner. Maidstone had won only once at home all season, and with finishing like they showed here, it's clear to see why Jamie Coyle close on this occasion as his header came off the bar. Guiseley could have secured an unlikely victory in the final minute as Jordan Preston found himself clean through, Lee Worgan saving the initial effort and Preston only managing to roll the rebound just wide. Still no wins for Guiseley, but an encouraging point for Lockwood.
After the first half, Maidstone thoroughly deserved to win the game, but second half I think we proved a lot in the second half, and I think the guys have proven to themselves more than anything rather than anybody else. And it is tough when you're down there, but I know it's in that dressing room, and it's just trying to coax it out bit by bit. got great ability, but frustrating for a manager.
Newly appointed Southport boss Steve Burr was hoping for an immediate response from his team after their 4-1 hammering by Barrow in midweek, his first home game in charge. He made 7 changes for the visit of Aldershot, including 3 new signings. Gary Waddock's team were unbeaten in 5 at the start of the day, and they had the clearest of the early chances, with Matt McClure through on goal, but the Northern Irishman hesitated before shooting well wide with just Magnus Norman to beat. Southport reacted quickly as the ball eventually reached Andre Jones, who was unlucky to see his effort cleared off the line by Anthony Straker. Burr's men were without a win in 7, but smelt victory as they went ahead with 20 minutes to go. Former Wrexham man Jamie Gray with an arrow drive past Jake Cole. On loan Fulham keeper Norman impressed with this save from Straker, but the 19-year-old could do nothing to prevent the equaliser on 79 minutes as Will Evans slammed home Shamir Fenelon's low cross. The hosts almost snatched a winner, but Cole showed good reactions to get down to Ashley Grimes' low shot. A marked improvement from Burr's side, but they still remain 5 points from safety.
Disappointed that we've conceded in the way we did, but the lads have worked hard today. I did say the other week at Eastleigh there was something to build on there, and then we crashed against Barrow, but we had a lot of injuries against Barrow, which didn't help. Today we brought 1 or 2 new faces in, and I just feel for the lads today because they deserved the 3 points today.
Despite Braintree's difficult start to the season, manager Jamie Day received a strong endorsement this week from chairman Lee Harding, who says it's only a matter of time before the team move up the league. But after Tuesday's win at Sutton, the Essex club couldn't make it 2 in a row. Teenage midfielder Sam Hughes' close-range finish, enough to give Chester all 3 points. A timely confidence boost for John McCarthy's side ahead of the derby with Wrexham in a week's time.
Not many goals this weekend, but still plenty of drama as the National League leadership changed hands yet again. Dagenham and Redbridge are the latest team to take over top spot after Lincoln's surprise home defeat by Barrow, who move up to 4th. Tranmere are still in the playoff places, but have only taken 1 point from their last 4 games, a run which cost manager Gary Brabin his job. Woking are out of the bottom 4 after taking 6 points from their last 2 games, with newly promoted North Ferriby dropping into the relegation zone. Southport and Guiseley picked up a point apiece, but need wins if they're to avoid being cut adrift. And don't forget to join us next Saturday when we bring you the big derby match between Wrexham and Chester, exclusively live on BT Sport 1 from 11:45.
That's all we've got time for this week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.
Look the part, play the part. Yakko sponsors Vanarama National League on BT Sport.